Welcome to another episode of Wrinkles in the Crease, where we take a look at the stories in hockey and iron out the details. I am your host, Zachary Morgan. I have with me, as always, my co-host, the less than real deal, Trevor Neal. Trevor, what is going on?
Feel great. Feel alive.
Trevor, why are people getting your name wrong? How did they mess it up? The less than real deal. How did they mess that up?
Because I started saying less than ideal for some reason.
Why?
And then it just kind of stuck. I don't know. But less than real deal makes so much. It's much better.
That's why. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Why are you ruining this?
Less than real deal. I'll make sure to correct myself. I'll start wearing a rubber band on my wrist every single time I say less than ideal. Just give myself a little snap. Get myself into it.
Go buy a Live Strong bracelet for that, please.
Oh my god.
That's right.
This is a great start.
Excuse me. We're starting this off, and I see here in the doc I have full reign to make fun of you. So
yes.
Do we talk episode. About? I guess we're talking about Saturday night then.
Yeah, we're talking about Saturday night. Saturday was a good night. It was a really good night. Not for you. And
Provide
it was
context.
not.
What happened Saturday night?
Saturday I turned 21, Zach.
Happy birthday, Trevor.
Thank you. I am now of age to just buy whatever the hell I want, and no one's stopping me.
You were already at the age to buy whatever the hell you want, and now you can just drink and then buy whatever the hell you want. You can blame purchases on alcohol.
That's true. I can now do stupid shit and I have an excuse.
I don't even have.
I had a good Saturday. I had a really good Saturday. Yeah. Did you have a good Saturday?
Oh, I had a great Saturday. The youngest of my first cousins on one of my fans on my mom's side of the family was bar mitzvahed, and we had a grand old time.
Is that a verb? I didn't know that. Bar mitzvahed, is that like a correct term? I'm learning. I didn't know that.
So on Saturday, I went to my youngest cousin's bar mitzvah, and that was a really good time. I had a lot of fun, but it was exhausting. So I fell asleep pretty early. So pretty early for my standards, being around 11:30 p.m. And
that is early.
Yeah. And Trevor, what were you doing on Saturday night?
At 10:30 your time, I was taking Jello shots, if I'm being honest.
Jello shots, yeah.
I think brandy and root beer ended up in a mixed beverage, and it tasted just like root beer. And I think it was brandy. I don't know.
You think
my girlfriend stepped out, just started putting things in a cup, and was like, "Here you go," and I just chugged it. Turns out I'm really good at beer pong when I'm tipsy. I was just sinking shots. Yeah.
I've never heard that before. Never. But then, in my entire life.
No. Zach, I was homeschooled. Let me have this. Okay. But then I went to a bar. Never been to a bar before.
They sell alcohol at those places.
And a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much. Should we go over the list of things that I consumed?
No, let's just skip ahead to the part where let's just skip ahead a few hours to the part where I wake up again. So why don't you tell me how we got there, and then I'll explain.
Do you want my point of view?
Yeah, I want your point of view for that, please.
Okay. So I just finished a vodka soda. I then tried to dance. My girlfriend then informed me that I wasn't dancing, but the room was spinning enough that I thought I was, but I was just walking.
That's good.
And then they gave me a fishbowl.
No.
Which I then almost finished.
Why? You're already lost inside of a glass bowl.
I was already shit-faced, quite frankly. I was already shit-faced. And then they gave me a fishbowl. And then I look at my girlfriend and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, now. So I go into the bathroom and I'm rocking back and forth for a half hour in the bathroom stall, hitting my head on either wall.
Good.
And then I start texting people.
He started texting people, yeah. So... there are two bursts of text messages that occur. The first burst We're gonna take a look here. I want to be as authentic as possible.
Read it right from the source.
That's what we're doing
You know,
here.
no secondhand information on this show.
So Sunday at 1:36 Eastern, Trevor Neal sends to me, "We're talking about this on the pod." This is the first text message he has sent to me this day, just today.
Yeah.
Then he says immediately after, "I'm scared and in the bathroom. So much alcohol,
Panic attack.
vodka soda, Wrinkles in Crease, not the Crease,
Crease. Crease.
So then it goes silent for an hour.
Yeah.
So, do you want to provide?
Do you want to know what I have? Okay, so in that hour, we left the bar. Leaving the bar, I looked at my girlfriend. I said, "I don't think I can drive." That was a good decision. We made good decisions. I felt the need to get that across. I could drive. I then got into my brand new Honda Accord, and I started puking into the back seat. The back seat.
Even better.
I then started puking into a bag, which then leaked everywhere.
Good.
And then we get back to my girlfriend's place. I get up to the room and I immediately collapse. And then I start telling my girlfriend Abby to text more people. And then I told her to text Zach, "You are my best friend from New Jersey, and I'm so sorry for everything." And she typed that message for me and thought it was so cute that she should send it.
Before she sent that, though, there are two messages we're missing here.
Oh, there's more. Oh, God.
There's more. So he also, an hour later, these are the ones that woke me up. I slept through the first 5, but these two woke me up. He says, "I don't know if I can do this for a special episode. I'm so scared." Special episode for what, Trevor? We haven't had this discussion. No one.
We've had little talks.
We had little talks, but the only person who said, "Yeah, we should do an episode where we get drunk," was you. You were the only one who said that. I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't say it was a good idea. I just kind of let it sit. You were the only one that was doing this.
And it might be a little bit before we revisit that.
I don't think that's a good idea. Because I then sent you a happy birthday, and that's when I got the "You're my best friend from New Jersey, and I'm sorry for everything." Which,
yeah, I've carefully left some parts.
Go back to bed.
Yeah, out of the story, so I could get your reactions on the podcast.
Of course.
My girlfriend has a little sister. She's a senior in high school. I sent her a picture of the toilet in the men's bathroom and just said, "This is what a men's toilet looks like." And my girlfriend asked me why I sent that, and I said, because she's never seen one before. That was my drunk logic. And then, at one point during the night, this is before the fishbowl, I grabbed Abby by the face, and I leaned in real close, and I went, "The Leafs need to sign Austin Matthews for 8 years." But he only wants 2 to 3. And then I just went back to our regular conversation.
You are a broken man.
Very broken. Very broken. I had a good time, though. I had a great time, though.
What part of that is a good time?
It was great until I had to walk. And the vomit. I just want to shout out my girlfriend Abby for taking me up to the room and then at 2:00 in the morning cleaning the vomit out of my car for me. She is the real hero of this episode.
God bless
Oh my God. The best is when we first got back to the house and I had to look at her mom and Abby is like, "Is there anything you want to say to my mother?" And I go, "I don't remember." And Abby goes, "The S word." And I look at her mom, say "shit-faced," and then trip up the stairs.
So, how well would you have done at the Vegas Stanley Cup parade based on that performance?
I don't think I could have hugged with those guys. Those guys were they were the shit-faced ones. Aiden Hill may have alcohol poisoning. And I don't think they're drinking anything except beer. You know how much beer it takes to get that fucked
beer
up?
And some champagne.
Okay, the champagne probably does a little bit.
No, the
But
champagne will get you. The champagne will get you. I promise you that.
yeah, but they're drinking from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, right?
Yes, that's yes.
Have they stopped yet? How
No.
long has it been still in the cup? A week and a half?
A week and a
They're
half.
still
Yeah,
drinking?
probably.
Yeah.
I'd be very shocked.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Good for them.
they should be. I mean,
Mhm.
look, it's been an unspoken contest who can party the longest, who can party the hardest, and right now
It's
it's Alexander Ovechkin and everyone else. And until we see otherwise, it will be Alexander Ovechkin and everyone else. It just kind of
I
is
don't
what it
know,
is.
man. William Karlsson
William Karlsson's putting
is
up a good fight.
Vegas
Well,
as a collective have had the hardest post Stanley Cup party I've ever seen.
yeah, but is it cheating because they're in Vegas?
That is a good thing to bring into this because they have such an unfair advantage that this is like a
'Cause, like,
normal Tuesday afternoon
The
for
strip
them.
is right there. You know what I mean?
They literally
It's
closed
just
it down for them.
yeah. I feel like that's yeah. But
I
this was
should
the
have gone.
vision. This was the vision when they brought hockey to Las Vegas. This is what they thought had in mind: shutting down the strip as a Stanley Cup goes on down and visits every casino and strip club that it possibly can.
It's been in a lot of strip clubs. I can
It's been in a
guarantee
lot of
that
places,
already.
yeah.
It's been in a
It's been
lot
in
of.
a lot of
It's been in
places.
more strip clubs in the last week than it's probably ever been before.
I mean, where else has it been? Tampa. Tampa's won Stanley Cups.
Yeah. Dallas had a good time with the cup.
I'm sure
It
they
went
would.
through a lot in
Oh, I'm
Dallas.
sure they did.
Dallas, it went through a lot in Dallas because they partied with Pantera. Like they partied hard with Pantera.
No, that's a good. That's a
That
good
was a
part.
good
That's a
time.
good. Yeah.
Would you make the argument that the party afterwards was a million times more interesting than the actual final?
You could. You really
I
could.
think it is. I think seeing the videos is better than the actual final.
I mean, in this case, yeah, that was a dud of a Stanley Cup final. We were really looking forward to a competitive cup, and we got nothing. I think
Was it?
Florida just did not.
They didn't
They
have
fell
it. Yeah.
victim. They fell victim to too much rest. They didn't play for like 9 days between the Eastern Conference Final and the Stanley Cup Final, and I think
And
that run
Brady.
the rest turned to rust.
Brady.
And then Matthew Kachuk got hurt. He broke his
Matthew Kachuk
sternum.
was dead from game one. That man was dead. He had
More or less,
nothing.
yeah. Brady Kachuk
Yeah.
had to get him dressed. I love that.
No, Brady Kachuk had to get him out of bed. He had to like lift him out of bed. It was his teammates who helped him get dressed in the locker room.
Oh, even better.
Okay, the NHLPA needs to step in that instance and say he's not playing. Because I
What do you
don't care
mean?
that it's a Stanley.
That's fine. He can
Zach,
play.
you cannot tell me
No,
that
that's
him
fine.
playing in Game 4 should have been allowed.
Where
There needs to be a time the
tie his
NHL can
skates, though,
step
right?
in. No, he couldn't lean
Then
over to
that's
reach
fine.
them.
That's fine.
Zach, if he got, let's say, he's skating around with a broken sternum,
Okay.
which is this bone, the one
Which
that
is
holds your chest
yeah,
together.
it's the one that holds your
Very
chest together.
important.
You want that.
If
You want
he
that
gets
to not
hit
be broken.
the way that Jack Eichel got hit by literally him, he dies. Like he's just dead.
And Jack Eichel toe picked himself into Matthew Kachuk. Matthew Kachuk.
No, but
it was going to be a hard hit. Don't get me wrong, but it was made worse by the fact that Jack Eichel did in fact lose his balance.
But that level of impact, if Matt Kachuk had that during Game 4, it is a career-ending injury. We're talking punctured lungs.
No,
his heart is back in
it's
Florida.
It's more than a career-ending injury when it's a potential life-ending injury.
And we're seriously in that conversation.
In life.
Yes, it ends his life career.
Yeah, which is longer than his hockey career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But somehow, his broken sternum was not the worst injury of the final.
Go on.
Aaron Ekblad was glued together. What did he have, like a broken ankle, was it? Pull up the exact list. I know it was like 2 separated shoulders. How do you do that? Have you ever seen someone with a separated shoulder? They can't move. Their whole body is in excruciating pain.
Okay, let's take a look here.
I know they said he passed the concussion
Okay,
test,
on
and they hinted
Tuesday
that he shouldn't
night.
have.
Okay, this article was written that I'm reading on June 14th, 2023. So that is 8 days ago. So on Tuesday, June 13th, uh, head coach Paul Maurice revealed that Aaron Ekblad suffered a broken foot during Game 1 against the Boston Bruins. He played 3
That
rounds
was
with
2
not
months
only
ago.
that, but he also popped his shoulder out twice and tore his oblique after, as well as passing a concussion test. What am I looking at?
That's just like popsicle sticks and glitter glue holding that man together by the end of it. Like, I get that that's like the culture of the sport. I fully understand that. But at a
I
certain point, you cannot tell me that guy number 7 is not better than Aaron Ekblad
do you
with his
know
body not functioning.
do you know what helps keep your shoulder in place if it keeps popping out?
Not
Tape,
moving it.
tape, tape that shit up. Tape that shit up
Oh,
and get right out
you're
there.
on the you just tape it together. Was
Tape it
his
together.
foot
Tape
held
his
together
shoulder.
with some
Tape his foot. How do you tape an oblique? Can you tape
man's
an
gonna look like
oblique?
the Michelin Man by the end of the
Can you
playoffs,
tape
just
an
like
oblique?
everything's taped. You just wrap tape around your whole chest. It's
Yeah,
all held together, good enough. You
yeah,
can't move anything, but he can sure
yeah.
stand there and block shots.
Listen, are you really competing if you're not wearing bags of ice around your knees, like every part of your body? Like you
Zach,
just have attached.
what drug was he on before every game? He's on a
The
Toradol IV, right?
the
He
drug
has
that
to be.
the drug that convinces you that you still have cartilage between the bones in your body when you clearly don't.
He is going to be pissing blood for 8 months with the amount of painkillers that he's on right now. I feel bad for him. Like
You're
playing
asking
through that.
playing through that just kind of it's what happens when you compete
You're that
for
close.
that in that level of competition. It just is what it is. The Stanley
You're
Cup playoffs have
that.
always been like it. It's been that way for 50, 60 plus years. You can talk about this all you want. You can say how horrifying it is, but these guys want to play that badly. No one is forcing these guys to play. Should someone maybe stop them at certain points? Maybe. Maybe.
My thing is Ekblad hit that line where someone needs to go. It's okay. It's like we'll be okay. Like you can,
No.
especially with them being down in the series though. Good
When
luck convincing him to not
at
play.
some point, if you stop winning, then you should probably take a look and then there should be a conversation. But
That man was playing when they were down 3-1 in the series.
I I can't
Because you
blame
never
him.
know. You never know. Maybe that broken foot was gonna get a breakaway somehow. You know, that separated
Listen,
shoulder was
man,
gonna
you
be.
can tape up a broken foot. Do I recommend it? No, but you can do
No,
it.
actually, I've heard that like out of all the sports and all like the breaks, a broken foot or ankle in hockey apparently is not that bad. Because like your boot holds everything together enough, and there's not very much movement. So if you can stand the pain, you can't really damage it more because it's basically in a cast. That is not an excuse. His foot was broken.
So Aaron Ekblad is an
Dead.
he's a hero.
Superhuman.
He's a hero,
Yes.
and
He's never getting called a traffic cone ever again.
talk to Brooks Koepka about that.
No, he's earned respect for playing through that. He's
I
earned
mean,
so much.
oh yes, from me, 100%. I will not be talking bad about Aaron Ekblad for a very long time. Not that
As a podcast, we want to formally state that we will not speak bad about Aaron Ekblad ever again.
not that we ever did. I don't think.
No, but we're just making that statement to be nice.
Okay.
I feel it's best. He's earned that from us because he's an avid listener. Yeah.
Aaron listener, Aaron Ekblad. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Please reach out, Aaron. We'd love to have you on if you are, in fact, an avid listener. If you ever listen to this segment, we would love to interview you as part of.
We can find you a good doctor. You might need one. We'll find you a doctor. Zach can do it. He'll put your foot back together.
Sir, I have an associate's degree in marketing.
You can create an advertisement for someone to give him a foot.
Oh yeah, someone to give him a foot. Yeah, that I can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any sort of like medical care? No, I can't. I can't advertise.
You can
that.
put out a
but
Craigslist
body
ad
part
to get someone to
donations?
do it.
Hell yeah, I can create those, no problem.
Yeah, do some pretty Photoshop, make it work, put it all together. But the NHL season's over, Zach.
Okay.
We made it. We made it.
It is over.
It's finally. It felt like a long one, especially because we had not a good playoff. It's not a good playoffs.
Who had not a good playoffs?
I just don't feel like it was the best playoff. Like there's a lot of blowout games compared to.
Oh, just in the NHL as a whole. I thought you were talking.
Yeah, just as a product, it was not the best playoff.
No, it wasn't. The first round I feel like lived up to the hype of being the first round. The series,
it always does.
The series, there wasn't a series that went. I think every series went at least 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
Then.
Like, the biggest storyline was Florida, and that's an awesome storyline. But the thing is, every single one of their games after Boston was just a blowout. They did not compete with Carolina or Toronto. Like, they just kind of marched on through. Like, it was a cool story, but, like, the games themselves were not...
No. Those games against the Hurricanes, Game 4 and Game...
1.
Game 1. Those were entertaining games. Even Game 2 was entertaining because we saw the best goal of the postseason in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals from Barkov, in my opinion. So I feel like the Eastern Conference Finals, that the overall the fact that it was a sweep kind of is a disservice to the Carolina Hurricanes because they were in each of those games. It's not. Those were entertaining games to watch, especially the last one where you have.
But you want to see that series go longer.
You want to see the series go longer, but I'm sorry. The way Game 4 ended, that's a perfect ending for a game. Is it the one we wanted? But no. For a sweep, though, that is the perfect ending. You think it's going to overtime? Absolutely not. Series is over. Less than 5 seconds to go. Matthew Tkachuk, thank you very much. Which is why he was playing when he was half broken. Because he could still
didn't he score a goal with something broken?
We can talk about this all he want and how much danger he put himself in. He was still somewhat effective even when he was that broken.
Still good. Every shift he played, he was good. Yeah.
He's still Matthew Tkachuk. Even if he's out there as a decoy, he's still Matthew Tkachuk, and you still have to account for that.
So. He's still got the same feistiness and anger. He's on enough painkillers. He doesn't feel anything when he's out there.
Yeah. But
he has no standards.
But I don't know. It's tough to say. Did it go as long as we wanted in the series that we wanted to go the distance? No. I think we used all of our Game 6s, Game 7s in the first round, and then we got a bunch of one-sided affairs towards the end to make up for that balance.
Yeah. I think the upsets in the first round kind of led to easier rounds later. Like, not having Colorado, like, kind of Seattle taking their place led to kind of Dallas kind of making an easier series out of them. The Dallas-Vegas series, which should have been an all-time great playoff series, Dallas just didn't have it. You can thank Jamie Benn for that. Dallas put up a fight there, but like I think you said before, it was like watching the inevitable being delayed a little bit with Dallas. Yes. Toronto and Florida should have been a great series. It just wasn't. Vegas, Edmonton, how did that? I can't remember that series as much.
That was an entertaining series in itself. A lot of people.
The Eichel versus McDavid.
A lot of people are looking back at that particular series right now and saying that the winner of that series would go on to win the Cup. So what they're saying is if Vegas doesn't win that series, Edmonton still wins the Stanley Cup because Edmonton would have gone through. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Vegas is a more together. I don't think Edmonton is as well built as Vegas, if I'm being honest with you.
I think Dallas beats Edmonton.
I think Dallas beats Edmonton as well.
I think Dallas was a very well-rounded team and just ran into a slightly better one.
It's not even that they just ran into a slightly better one. It's they couldn't get a save out of Ottinger. The team kind of just broke down around him, and he wasn't really able to answer the call
They
when
were flustered the whole series.
it is
They
what
were
it is.
just out of and that's what happens when you play a team like Vegas.
Yeah.
That is perfectly engineered to get through the playoffs. Dallas just they got to the third round. That's a good year. We'd kill for our teams to get that far.
Yeah, but for in Dallas's sake, though, it's kind of how much longer can this core compete
No,
for a
no,
cup?
that's not the core anymore. That's not the core anymore. Look, once Sagan leaves the team, they're fine. Once Ben leaves the team, it's fine. They are in a very weird situation in which that they completely rebuilt without ever being bad. Like the core is no longer Sagan and Ben. They don't really. They're complementary pieces. Like it's now it's Rupe Hintz, it's Mir Haskins, Jason Robertson, it's Wyatt Johnston, it's Ty Dellandrea. They're just fine. Like the Dallas Stars are a young team, like it or not.
Rope
They'll be back.
Hintz is going to be. I'm so excited for Rope Hintz next year. That's
There's
going to
if
be a
there
lot of
there's a
fun.
list of players that Wrinkles in the Crease loves to praise, and Rupe Hintz is at the very top of that list.
Well, he's not at the very very top because there's one
He's
player
up
who
there, man.
he's
Brady
up
Kachuk,
there.
Matt Kachuk,
Jesper
but there's
Bratt,
one
who's
more.
at the top of that list, which leads me to
Newly signed Jesper Bratt.
Jesper Bratt is in New
Costs
Jersey
big
for
boy money.
8 more years, signing an 8-year,
Eight.
$63 million deal with the New Jersey Devils at a 7.875 average annual value. The way it is shaped up, it's not an even split though. It's staggered via the signing bonus throughout
It's all
the
good.
eight
Just
years, but
numbers.
it's
Just
all
numbers.
numbers. Yes,
As
we
a
see what you're
season
saying.
ticket holder, does Jesper Bratt come to every season ticket holder's house, give them a hug, and be like, "It's okay, I'm staying.
He
It's
should.
okay."
The thing
Does he
is,
make you
though,
like banana bread?
after the after these playoffs, Jesper Bratt's kind of a very polarizing figure amongst the Devils fans. Some fans are really really happy that he is re-signed and he will be here for 8 more years. Other fans were very much ready to see him go and were of the impression that paying him more than $6 million would be an overpay because he did not
You're
produce what
not
they
getting that
wanted in the
production at
playoffs.
6 million. You're
There,
not getting that production at
I'm
$6 million.
going to say this now on record. The fans who are so quick to write off Jesper Bratt because of this playoff performance, um, calm down. You want to get rid
Amen.
of a point per game player who is 24 years old after his first run in the playoffs because we can't count 2018 when John Hines scratched him for 4 of those 5 games. You can't count that as playoff
Doesn't
experience.
matter.
So this was his first run in the playoffs. And did he
Mhm.
play as well as you would want him to? No. Did he have moments in the postseason where he showed up? Yeah. He had the primary assist on the OT winner in Game 3 against the Rangers for Dougie Hamilton, and he created the space that Dougie needed to put that puck behind Igor to end the
Yeah.
game and start the Devils on that run where they would inevitably win the series in 7 games. Granted, his only goal in the postseason was empty netter. Problem. But there's things to build on there.
You're also
And
playing in the biggest lights of his entire career.
yeah,
He's never played on a big stage before
but
to this extent.
to get rid of Jesper Bratt would have left such a bad taste in the mouth of everyone. You wouldn't have been able to look at this off season as a success. Now you
No.
have Jesper Bratt re-signed for 8 years. You have Timo Meyer, who allegedly wants to also sign for 8 years and has told his agent to work out that deal with Tom Fitzgerald. So there's a lot happening with New Jersey. We'll see how that works out for Timo Meyer. It does seem pretty likely that that 8-year deal will get done. The Devils have filed for
He's
arbitration just in case it can't work out, but it does. But they see both sides seem like optimistic about getting a deal done.
the advantage to that negotiation is the Devils want him. Timo wants to be a Devil, which is nice to see a guy who can leave. Or no, he's an RFA. Never mind. But a guy who actually has expressed he wants to play in New Jersey is a big sign
It's
for the
a
franchise.
it's a new and fresh feeling that is more than
Yeah, it's
welcome amongst the
weird,
people.
isn't it? It's weird when you
It's
can
fun.
lure free agents for once.
It's nice.
Um,
It's nice.
do you know who can't lure free agents? Zach,
Who?
the Winnipeg Jets.
No, they cannot.
They
No, they
they can't
cannot.
even lure Winnipeg Jets.
No, they cannot.
Is
No,
there
they
a
cannot.
single player in the NHL who goes, man, I'm proud to be a Jet. Someday I'm going to be a Jet. I can't wait to be a Jet.
You have to
Is
look at
and
what they've done to Blake Wheeler and then
nothing.
think
Just treat
about
him like
that
shit.
statement. Blake Wheeler, who's been with this team since they were in Atlanta. Blake Wheeler, who was unceremoniously stripped of his captaincy before the beginning of this past season, and now is on the verge of. He has
No, he's
value.
leaving.
They're going to buy him out because they have no choice because every team knows that the Jets just don't want him there anymore.
He has played his last game as a Jet. And it's sad because like he is the Jets. He's been the Jets their entire time, this second iteration of the Winnipeg Jets. He is them.
There's a reason why he succeeded Andrew Ladd as captain. He was the heart and soul of that locker room for a long time, and now they're just burning it all down.
The list of teams more screwed than Winnipeg is pretty short.
Vancouver.
They're in a real bad spot.
Yeah,
Vancouver. But like, at least Winnipeg was expecting to be good. They were never supposed to be bad. Pierre-Luc Dubois out, but Pierre-Luc Dubois is a weird little exception to that, in that he's won it out of every team he's played for. He's trying to be a UFA as an RFA. That's all he's doing.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that. It's better for the league if it does work like that, but it doesn't.
Do you think through all this demanding trades, demanding to be moved, do you think Pierre-Luc Dubois actually ends up on a team that has a real chance at winning a Stanley Cup in the next 5 years?
He doesn't want to be.
It doesn't seem like
he doesn't want to be. He wants to be a Montreal Canadian, and he will not stop demanding trades until he gets traded there. And guess what? Montreal doesn't have to do that.
No, Kent Hughes has other plans in mind than.
But if they do sign him, let's say they get him in free agency at some point. That is going to be the most team-friendly deal ever, because he can't do this and then go, I want $9 million. Nah, you can't pull that shit now. He shot himself in the foot money-wise.
Is he even a $9 million a year player?
No, he's not.
Yeah. So...
But, like, okay, if he goes to another team, they're going to say, well, you just want to go play for another team anyway. Why would we give you money? If he goes to Montreal, they're going to say, well, you won't sign anywhere else, so your number drops. He's never going to get paid. Now, I don't know if he is the player to get paid, but he deserves a check. But
honestly, Dubois,
I think if I don't have a source for this at all, but I could guarantee a lot of GMs have a real sour taste in their mouth about PLD still.
They should.
That last shift in Winnipeg, or not Winnipeg, Columbus was pitiful.
Yeah.
And, like, you should not have been allowed to play again bad. Because you're contractually obligated to play hockey, and he simply did not.
Yeah, that was his leverage. He was flexing his muscle. He can play hockey, but he doesn't really have to do it well. And that really upset.
Wasn't that his last shift?
Yes.
That was his last shift.
And then that was that. I think
that's the best decision Tortorella has ever made.
He was traded very.
No, it took a week or two. They just kept healthy scratching him.
Very shortly after that trade went through.
Yeah. But Connor Hellebuyck now wants out.
Which is no surprise. He said as much during his exit interview after the Jets were eliminated by the Golden Knights in the first round. Of course, the Devils are on that list of teams that he has expressed an interest in playing for. He would want an extension with whatever team that he joins, and he is looking reportedly, allegedly, for an annual average value of $9.5 million. Connor Hellebuyck turned 30 a month ago.
Wait. He wants how much?
$9.5 million for
Zach. He's not going to be a Devil.
He can't be. There's no discernible.
Zach, I wouldn't give him half of that.
No, you shouldn't. The Devils have kind of been there, done that by trading draft capital for a goaltender above the age of, or near or above the age of 30.
Who the hell is giving him anything close to that number? And things he's gonna
Uh,
want a cup, right? He's not gonna want this kind of
no,
like
the whole
fairy
point is he
tale
wants
kind
to
of.
compete for a cup, and to compete
Who
for a
has
cup,
that?
there's no goalie that.
It's hard
I
to
was about
win
to
with
say
a
there's no
goalie making that
goalie
much.
making that much money that's about to compete for a cup, but Sergei
Andre
Bobrovsky went to
Vasilevsky,
the
Sergei Borowski. No,
Harry
no,
Price even
Bobrovsky
went to
gets
the
his
cup
own
final.
category. That contract still sucks. The Bobrovsky contract is still ass. But the thing is, he had one good run in it. It
He
doesn't
did.
make up for the fact he was unplayable the rest of the duration of that
Look, he
contract.
wasn't the starter at the beginning of the postseason for good reason. And
No,
quite
he was like
frankly,
their number
If
3.
Spencer Knight was still healthy, there's no guarantee that he even smells the ice if Spencer
He
Knight is
doesn't.
with the team. But
No, Connor Hellebuck maybe 5 million,
no, more than
maybe.
5. I think
You think
five
more
and a
than 5?
half. I
Not 9.5. That
I
number ain't
would give
close
him
enough.
5.7, 5.7, but I don't want to give him 6, even though he definitely is worth
No.
it. And I don't want
Oh,
to
okay, you want to make $6 million, or do you want to win a Stanley Cup? You can't have both.
exactly. You can't have both, and unfortunately, the position he's in is to take less money so that he can compete for a cup. That's what he should be doing.
Pull a Jonathan Quick, man.
Yeah.
Pull a
If
Jonathan
the
Quick if
Devils
you
are
want it
going to
that
target a
bad.
goalie, the Devils should be targeting Linus Ullmark. Book it.
Oh, he's can move now, can't he? We
Linus
might actually have a
Ullmark.
good goalie market now. It might be a good season for goalie market because I
Linus
think
Ullmark is 29 years old, and he's already signed for the next year or so.
no, you
Swayman
could
is
get Tristan Jarry.
okay. Stop. No.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. You don't want.
If Boston doesn't want much for him, Boston's goalie of the future is Sway. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you can pry away Linus Ullmark, that's something to talk about.
Zach, okay, I need a refresher because Allmark was the 1A, Swayman was the 1B, right? This past
Ullmark
season?
is the one who's probably going to win the Vezina.
Okay. Their goaltending situation was so weird that I got them confused at times because they both played a shit ton and both played amazing. Like the top 2 goalies of the league were on the same team, and it threw me off.
They were both very good. I can't deny that.
Boston, fucking hell, Boston! I can't believe they did that.
I can.
I
It was
can't.
beautiful. It was artwork.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was awful. It was
Choking is
hideous.
an art form, Trevor.
That was beautiful to watch. The regular season was painful. Oh, them blowing the 3-1 series lead, Zach. Mwah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
made the
the
regular
blown
season
lead.
worth dollar rating.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so speaking of players or people involved in making obscene decisions about where players may go this offseason, the Penguins fortified their front office, didn't they?
The Penguins looked at a calculator and went, "That's what we want," and just went on a roll. They're like, Kyle Dubas. Did you hear how many years he got?
No.
7 to be a president of hockey ops. That man is never leaving Pittsburgh. They can't fire him.
Trevor, I
Ever.
feel like you said that about Toronto, about him in Toronto at one point.
Oh, but then he threw a temper tantrum.
And then he left Toronto.
Yeah, they left Toronto. He didn't have a 7-year contract in Toronto though.
No.
And he has the keys to the frickin' Berg right now. He is coming in there, a little halo above his head, ready to save the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's gonna throw some numbers in a calculator. It's gonna spit out, give Michael Bunting more money, and Michael Bunting's gonna win a Conn Smythe. Like, it's just like, and then he brings along. I want to make it very clear that Michael Bunting is not going to win a Conn Smythe, but the odds of him being a Pittsburgh Penguin are not 0. Okay, there's a chance. And then Kyle brings in his little buddy, Jason Spezza. We called that hire. As soon as like the Dubas went over, it was like, all right, Spezza's either coming to Pittsburgh or he's going to Ottawa. There are no other options for him. Some people really called out his loyalty to the Toronto Maple Leafs for following Kyle. he owes the Leafs nothing. I don't have a problem with him leaving. I love Jason Spezza, but dude, you have a guy who's going to make your job as easy as can be and still gives you creative freedom. Follow Kyle, man. Like, y'all are going to. I actually think that Pittsburgh's going to do well with the Kyle Dubas era. Kyle is good at being close to the cap. He is good at finding
I don't know
ways
what you're talking about. They have $20 million in cap space according to Cap Friendly. They're fine. Everything's fine.
Zach, they have like 4 players under contract.
It's fine.
They are
it's fine.
not.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Zach, they have one. They have one goalie, and it's Casey DeSmith. They're not okay.
He's a goalie. He plays
Pittsburgh
hockey.
is. They have one dude who has a pair of pads. Like it's.
I've heard Sidney Crosby can sometimes play goalie.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby played goalie in that one roller hockey game. Maybe we can have him do both. You know, is Kyle Dubas going to make the Pittsburgh Penguins relevant? Are they making the playoffs next year?
Rickard Rakell is making $5 million for the next 4 years. Michael Gramland is making $5 million next year and the year after.
Oh, and Brian Rust, he's making over 5.
God bless.
Look, I love Brian Rust. We love Brian Rust, but he's 30 now.
Where is Ben Lovejoy when you need him?
Oh my God.
Kyle Dubas.
Ben Lovejoy is coming.
If there's a defenseman who can save you from yourself, it is Ben Lovejoy.
No, Justin Hall is going to be a Penguin. Kyle Dubas is bringing over all his guys. That would
actually make sense. That would make sense. Him or Timothy.
You know who else was a Penguin? Cody Ceci is going to have a second stint in Pittsburgh.
My God, the Penguins the Penguins are going to trade Ty Smith for Timothy Liljegren. Watch.
If the Leafs take Ty Smith for Timothy Liljegren, Zach, I swear to God, I will be convinced the Leafs didn't actually fire Kyle. Like, if they do that shit, he's the GM for both teams.
What do you mean? Ty Smith is a fantastic player.
No. If they trade Ty Smith for Timothy Liljegren, this is how it happened. Kyle Dubas still has his phone from the Leafs, and he's on both sides of the line. But he knows the Toronto phone's being taken away, so he's gonna do one more thing before he loses it.
And that's the one thing. He trades one 17th overall pick for another 17th overall pick.
Yeah, and also Matt Murray. Matt Murray's involved in that deal as well. Because Matt Murray, there's a chance he's a Penguin again. They need a goalie. They need a goalie.
They don't need that bad. They don't need a goalie that bad.
Look, Matt Murray was at his peak as a Penguin.
I think they're better off finding Jack Johnson and having him play for the dead cap money, putting him in goalie pads.
Okay, is Jack Johnson allowed to play at a team that he's part of their dead cap? Is that allowed?
No idea. I don't know, man.
God, it's just like, man. But thank goodness they have Marcus Pettersson for $4 million for 2 more years. Thank goodness. Chris Letang till 2028.
So yeah,
he's 36.
So I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do to fill out a roster because they've got $20 million to figure that out. They need a goalie. They need like at least 4 forwards, maybe more, probably more.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 forwards under contract.
Oh, good. Year. So they need at least 10 more forwards. So that's So that's not an insignificant number of forwards.
Oh, but Sam Poulin can come up to the NHL. He's got 1 more year on an ELC.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You said 8. They need 4 more forwards. Excuse me.
Yeah, they can pull up. They can call up Sam Poulin, and let's see who else. Nathan Leger. He can probably play in the NHL.
Who's that?
Philip Hollander. I don't know.
Do you know who that is?
You think Pittsburgh has prospects? God, there's nothing here. There's nothing here.
Let's take a look. They've got Alex
never mind.
Nylander.
They have Ty Smith.
Yeah, they have Ty Smith.
Well, not a prospect. He's on the NHL team.
True.
They can't even call up Dustin Tokarski from the NHL.
Ty Smith played like 1 game in the NHL this year, and naturally it was against the New Jersey Devils. And let me tell you,
he scored 8 goals.
No, but he was on their top power play unit, and that top power play unit got a ton of time, and man, was he moving the puck really well against the Devils
He's
that
good
he
at moving the
practiced
puck.
against. It's
He's good at
crazy,
moving the puck.
crazy.
You know what? If he does, he fall down frequently. Does he sometimes tackle his own goaltender? Because if you
Hey,
don't do
you.
those things,
Oh,
you might be a
oh
Penguin.
no, never mind. Never
Good
mind.
enough. Oh.
No, I was
Not
gonna
under
say
contract.
no. Yeah, I was gonna say that there's a goalie here, Dustin Tokarski, but he is not under contract. He is a UFA.
He's a 33-year-old goalie in the AHL.
Hey, he's a goalie.
He doesn't count. David Ayres is going to play a game for the Penguins next year. It's going to be really funny. He's going to beat the Leafs again.
So, what is your favorite free agent move potentially on the horizon, Trevor?
I'm actually the one that I'm actually really, and this might be some bias. I'm really excited to see where Michael Bunting goes and what money comes with it.
I'm really
Because I
excited.
want to see what GM is willing to take a risk.
Let me see something real quick before I say the absurd thing I'm about to say.
There is an NHL executive who called this free agent class horse shit. It's not good.
That's good. It makes up for the fact that the draft class is going to be outstanding. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Kent Hughes was smart. I was going to say I'm really excited to watch Jake Allen join the Pittsburgh Penguins, but that's not going to happen.
Okay, what goalie could Pittsburgh even potentially get? Some people mentioned Hellebuck. They can't afford Hellebuck.
Sure they can.
You'd have to trade Sidney Crosby.
No. They have $20 million in cap space. They can do it.
Look,
should they do it? No, but they can.
There's a lot of things the Penguins can do. The Penguins are going to go trade for Mitch Marner and just like
that would be something.
God. Look, Kyle, I trust Kyle knows what he's doing with Pittsburgh. That's all that matters.
Do you?
Yeah, I fully trust he has a plan. Is it going to work? I don't know, but like they're going to ice a team. They're going to make the playoffs because they have Sidney Crosby on them. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Are they going to win a cup? No. But
speaking of cups, do you think Aiden Hill will go back to Vegas? He's technically a UFA.
Yes. But if there's one team that lets a goalie in that situation go, it is Vegas.
That would be the most Vegas thing ever.
The most Vegas move I've ever heard of. Thanks for winning us a cup. Remember how much you got the entire city of Las Vegas to win you over? Hope you like Winnipeg. See ya. Like
no. That the Winnipeg's too nice. It's under Vancouver.
No, trade him to Chicago. Just do Marc-Andre Fleury again.
Yeah, trade him to Chicago for nothing. That's right.
Yeah. Trade his rights. Can you even trade a UFA's rights yet? Like, is that a thing you could do?
No, but you can sign and trade.
Oh, Aiden Hill's gonna get the
He could be the third. He could be the third ever sign and trade.
He won't
in the NHL. Probably not.
He won't be.
No, but do we want to talk about the NHL awards?
Yeah, we can spend a few minutes on the NHL awards.
Is there anything to talk about for the NHL awards?
They're dumb. They're dumb.
Give Jack Hughes a Lady Bing.
Yeah.
Do it. All right, we've talked about the NHL awards. Can we
talk about the Norris? Let's talk about the Norris.
Sure.
The Norris Trophy sucks. It's awful. Right.
Yeah, it's
because it's just which defenseman scored the most points. That's all it is.
That's how it's been since
the beginning of time.
I don't know, not the beginning of time, but pretty a while now.
Pretty close to the beginning of time, yeah.
Pretty close, yeah. So
I just don't like that there's elite defensemen that lock down the ice every time they're on the ice, and they get no recognition for it because Brent Burns played forward. Tell me I'm wrong.
Erik Karlsson's
going to win the Norris. Yep,
100%.
Okay, that's different. That's different.
How?
I don't know why. Erik Karlsson's
How is it different? He is the best. He produced the most points at the defensive spot. Was he good at playing defense? No.
No.
He
But he
wasn't.
deserves it because, like, it's part of the story.
He's one of, I don't even know how many defensemen, but a handful of defensemen to put up 100 points in a season. He deserves it on that front alone. He was the best producer. He was the best offensive defenseman this season, but that's just it. He was the best offensive defenseman. So take that for what it's worth. But this trophy, the Norris Trophy's broken. It's been broken for a very long time.
I just wish that there's 2 defenseman awards. Just so those kind of stalwart, hate playing against some defensemen get something, man. Like, the thing is, they're harder to, like, because I couldn't even tell you who the best defenseman at that is right now. And that's
Kevin
sad.
Ball.
Oh my God, you and Kevin Ball.
He's
You
so
are just
perfect.
the biggest Kevin Ball fan
He's so perfect.
I've ever
and
met.
long. He has.
What would you do if I got you a Kevin Ball jersey?
I would question
Kevin
how
Ball
you did that because
reverse
there's no way.
retro.
There's no way they would print you a Kevin Ball jersey. Now with today's NHL shop, there's just no way that happens.
I feel like they would.
No.
I'll just say Ball's my last name. I want this number.
I want the same. I want Kevin Ball. I want a life-size Kevin Ball jersey.
Yeah.
What does that
But
mean?
can I
mean,
can
it
I
has
actually
to fit him, so it has to be long enough for me to be able to reach from one end of the ice to the other while wearing that jersey.
I also want the back of the jersey just to say Kevin Ball. Like it says.
Oh, it has to say full Kevin Ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
full
that.
Kevin Ball.
I like that.
And underneath of it says nice and long. That's what it says. Kevin Ball, nice and long.
I like the idea where I've got the you remember the Dragon Bender jersey that after the Suns acquired Kevin Durant, they did the Kevin Durant. I want that.
Zach, I don't know anything about basketball.
Oh, well,
you know this.
People know. People would know. I'll put the picture up. People will know.
Grady Dick is a Toronto Raptor. That's all I know. They got the guy with the funny name.
We've mentioned Grady Dick. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? The cap is only going up $1 million.
We're gonna gloss over the other part of that note. We're gonna bring that up next
No,
episode.
we're gonna move into that right now. We're gonna move into that. But first, the cap is only going up $1 million. To the surprise of no one.
Yep.
Those 4 contracts in Toronto look worse and worse as every day goes by. Yeah.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? You're the one who's going to be going through immense pain because of those contracts.
I am going through immense pain. That's why you're getting drunk texted again. I'll have my girlfriend take my phone next time, so you don't.
Good. That's good.
Yep. You will not be bothered at all.
Abby, you're doing God's work. Thank you.
We've learned very valuable lessons. But do you know who hasn't learned their lesson? The National Hockey League, because they're a joke.
Why are they a joke this time, Trevor? Educate me.
Because, Zach, how many years have we been doing the hockey is for everyone thing?
Let me do some carry to 7.
It's been a long time now.
Like 10 years, I think.
Yeah, and some teams have done a beautiful job with the Hockey is for Everyone campaign.
Yes.
Vancouver especially. The NHL has been able to raise a lot of money through their auctions and through these special events. And do you know what's been a big part of those auctions?
The special warm-up jerseys.
It's the best part.
Yeah.
It's the best part.
They are.
When I went to a Pride game this year, and you know how many people were wearing the old editions of the jerseys?
There are a lot.
People take this.
Those jerseys make their appearances. As a double season ticket holder, you better believe I see a ton of them when I go to each game. The ones that honestly, the ones that look the best, and I get the gender equality ones. For whatever reason, the red and the purple, they did such a good job on the design of that jersey. Those jerseys sold for a ridiculous amount of money, and they just look the best in the crowd. They got the white.
And you know what?
The perfect amount of white and everything. It's great.
NHL, you don't want to talk about gay rights? Okay. Hockey Fights Cancer. The Leafs have raised $30,000 on these jerseys in the last 2 years. That's one team. One.
You know what? And as someone who generally, I have every single Hockey Fights Cancer jersey that Adidas has produced. They genuinely do a good job with that. They support
Yes.
a good cause, and that's really that. And the military support ones are the only ones they generally mass produce for outside of being able to buy the ones that the players wore during the warm ups.
Yes.
So you're getting rid of those. You're getting rid of a ton of money that would be going to charity right off the bat, and it's just
Who
a fun thing.
wins?
No one.
Who
No
wins?
one wins. The people.
The fan. Look, my best friend is part of the LGBT community. Do you know how much it meant to her that her first game, the players are wearing jerseys to make her feel more welcome, and the players are wearing jerseys to auction off to support those communities. That means so much to the hockey community to make sure those people feel included. And this is a slap in the face. This is embarrassing. This is just pathetic. We have the best sport in the world. It's not close. I will die saying that the hockey is the best sport in the world, and we have by far the worst league.
Second worst league. Second worst league.
No, the A7FL is better than the National Hockey League.
I have to cut that.
You don't have to cut that.
Yes, I do.
That.
For my own dignity purposes, I must cut that.
But anyway. The thing is, it's like the St. Patrick's Day jerseys for some reason, which were required by the NHL, which I think is really weird. It's the only two that are.
What?
Or three.
Yeah, three.
The NHL required you to do 3 jerseys. It's like Hockey Fights Cancer, Military Appreciation, and St. Patrick's Day. The rest was optional.
Hey man, the St. Patrick's Day jerseys,
those were cool.
The people who some of my close friends who sit around me for the Devils games are Irish, so they break out those jerseys every year.
The Toronto St. Pat's jerseys, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Those are game jerseys, so it's a little different. But like,
I really do like the white ones, so they did a good job bringing those back.
But like the Dallas Stars, they do a Mexican Heritage Night. If you've never been to Texas, big deal down here. They do an Indian Heritage Night, and they do special jerseys for all of these things. It means the world to people. And the NHL just went, nope. A small handful of bigots ruined this for everybody. Because the NHL refuses to have controversy. It refuses to actually say something. It refuses to stand for something.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Wrinkles in the Crease. Please let us know down below, are you excited for the Fanatics jersey takeover?
Are you excited to get a drunk text message from me?
Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. May God help us all.